Do you have trouble pocketing shots like these? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you how to slice and dice and pocket all those difficult cut shots that you've been having trouble with for years. In fact, I'm going to show you 3 more aiming secrets that are going to make these thin cut shots into hangers. So stay tuned. Hello, I'm Master Instructor Anthony Beeler, and welcome to another episode of Do You Want to Play Like a Pro? This week, we continue our journey towards 10,000 subscribers. We're getting closer and closer each week. We're only a few days away now. If you haven't gone to poolteacher.com and registered for our big giveaway, don't forget to do so. You don't want to be left out. We're giving away tons and tons of wonderful prizes. And the only way you can get registered is go to poolteacher.com, click on the YouTube giveaways button, and fill out the form. In this video, I'm going to show you how to pocket 60 and 75 degree cut shots. Many people struggle with these shots, but if you will embrace the strategies that I show you in today's lesson, then you're going to become much more proficient when you're facing something that thin. So let's go to the table and see what that looks like. Okay, the first thing I want you to understand is when you're attempting to pocket a super thin cut shot, such as a 60 or 75 degree cut, we're aiming from edge of cue ball into the edge of the object ball. This is a 60 degree cut. This is a 75 degree cut. But we're not aiming with the center of our cue ball. We're playing edge to edge, or we're aiming edge to edge. So what I'm doing here is with this 75 degree cut, and this is the one that everyone calls a 90 degree cut. People really don't pocket 90 degree cuts in normal circumstances. So this is about as thin as you would figure to attempt a cut shot, and it's 75 degrees. So what you're doing is you're lining up the edge of your cue ball with the edge of the object ball. And that's the first premise. These red lines here for the 60 and for the 75 show the appropriate aiming line. So that's really important. I love this template too. Gordon Vanderveer is a pool instructor. He's developed these templates. I've been using it for a few weeks now. I love it. It shows you the degrees for every cut shot in 15 degree increments. So it starts at straight in, then you got 15, 30, 45, 60, and 75. Again, today we're just looking at the 60 and 75 degree cuts. But for the 60 and 75 degree cuts, we're going edge of cue ball into the edge of the object ball, and that's the first big step. Okay, so now that we understand that we're aiming from edge to edge, the second key to pocketing a thin cut shot is once you find that edge to edge line that you need to use to pocket your ball, put your cue stick on a parallel line through the center of the cue ball, and that's your aiming line. The next thing that I want you to understand is, as in my previous video, speed is critical. If you go up to a 65 degree cut shot and you look at it and you eye it up edge to edge, you find the correct line, and then you get down into your stance and you strike it with a super slow speed. Notice that it goes, but it goes to the outside edge of the pocket. Why is that? Because I struck the ball slowly and friction-induced throw drug the ball forward. Friction-induced throw is not your friend. When you're attempting to pocket 60 or 75 degree cut shots, always hit those shots with speed, because when you hit them with speed, you're going to get a much truer line of aim. Did you notice the difference between the softly struck shot and the shot that I hit with more speed? you'll notice that the shot that I struck with more speed cut a little bit thinner. So when you're attempting to pocket 60 or 75 degree cut shots, you always need to strike those shots with speed. If I've got a 60 degree cut shot and I'm wanting to pocket the ball, I'm going to aim it edge to edge. But as I'm going to aim this shot edge to edge, what you need to understand is it's critical to gain a better perspective. And you've heard the old saying, sometimes 2 steps backward leads to 1 step forward. Well, that's exactly what we're going to do. So I'm aiming this cut shot edge to edge. I'm aiming the center of my tip parallel to the edge to edge line. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up like I would normally cut this ball in. So I'm visualizing it edge to edge, but now I'm going to do something different. I'm going to take 2 steps backward. Now when I take those 2 steps backwards, it's going to give me a different perspective. It's going to make the 1 ball and the cue ball appear to be closer. They're going to be further away, but from my perspective, the edge of the cue ball and the edge of the 1 are now closer, and it's easier for me to judge the shot line. So now that I've taken 2 steps backwards, what I'm going to do is take 1 step forwards with each foot, and then I'm going to get down, and as I'm down here, I've got a much better perspective to cut that shot in. So 2 steps backwards, 1 step forward. It does several things for you. First of all, when you take 2 steps backwards, it allows you to see that shot line. It gives you a better perspective. It makes the edge of the cue ball and the edge of the 1 ball appear closer together, so you can judge that cut angle much better than before. The second thing it does is when you take 1 step forward rather than 2 steps forward from your normal position, it stretches your body out and puts your head down just a tiny bit lower to the table. And it allows you to eye that cut shot just a little bit better. But if there's one real secret to making thin cut shots, it's to change your perspective. Again, 2 steps backwards and 1 step forward from your normal aiming position. And that will allow you to see that cut shot line much clearer. And when you take that 1 step forward, you'll be a little bit further back than what you normally would be, which is going to put your head down just a little bit lower, which will allow your eyes to see that cut shot clearer than ever before. So, we've talked about 3 things today. We've talked about perspective, we've talked about aiming edge to edge, and we've talked about hitting the shots with power. If you take those 3 words, perspective, edge to edge, and power, and you put them together to form an acronym, you can spell the word PEP. The first P is for perspective, the E is for edge to edge, and the third P is for power. So always remember when you're attempting a very thin cut shot to look back at the PEP formula. The PEP formula will help you pocket thin cut shots like never before. Here are just some examples of me using the PEP formula. This is a 75 degree cut shot. Again, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to gain perspective. Normally I would strike the shot from about right here. I'm going to take 2 steps backwards. It'll help me to see that aiming line better. I'm aiming edge to edge, which is the second component of the PEP formula. And the third thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my cue on a parallel line through the center of the ball, and I'm going to strike the shot with power. And that's going to give me the best possible chance to pocket this very, very thin 1 ball. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Do You Want to Play Like a Pro? I hope you've enjoyed this lesson on thin cut shots, and if you practice the strategies that we've listed in today's lesson, then I'm sure you'll make those shots a much higher percentage of the time. If you haven't gone to poolteacher.com and registered for our big giveaway, don't forget to do so. We're only a few weeks away, and you don't want to be left out on all sorts of wonderful prizes. Click on the YouTube giveaways button and get registered. Thanks again for watching, and I hope everyone has a great week.
It's just one of those amazing classes that you can never forget. It's one of those classes that can really get you going where you want to go with the game.
It's the best online course on pool out there.
It's been really cool working with Anthony from home. I have already learned so much.
I love the course. It is easy to use and available 24/7, which fits well with my busy schedule.
Luckily, I stumbled upon Anthony Beeler's online courses, so I signed up. And within 3 or 4 months, my game had improved dramatically.
It will definitely improve your game.
When I did go back to the regional tournament, finally after 7 years, I got first place. They bumped me up to the next division. I went back the following year. I got first place in that division the first year. I can't say highly enough how much Anthony's courses have helped me, and I have no doubt they will help you too. If you do have any questions, he's available on the phone calls. He answers your questions very quickly.
Someone asked me about Anthony Beeler's Virtual Beer Academy class. Go all the way.